showers of blessings. I don't know where you are watching us from, but yeah, it's really.
Is this one showers of blessings?
No, this is showers.
When I came to work, wait, did you see where I parked? I parked almost at the gate of the studios. Yes, I still got wet.
Yeah. That's it. That's the blessings of our Lord, you understand, showing us that He still cares. Not too long ago, we were complaining that the weather was too hot, and now we are having a very, very clement weather. Weather for us to, though the rain disrupted a whole lot of things, but nevertheless, we'll definitely bring you your favorite breakfast show. And this morning, we shall be talking about, billboard signage and then the role of ANSAA in managing businesses, religious and political signages in Anambra State. And we are with the, the numero uno when it has to do with the agency, and that's in the person of Tony Odili Ujubuanu. Good morning, MD, CEO, Signage and Advertising Agency, ANSAA. It's a pleasure having you here this morning.
The pleasure is mine too. Thank you.
Your name is Ujubongo, isn't it?
Yes, Ujubongo.
Okay. Yeah. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Can you just in a nutshell break down that acronym for us? Let us actually know, and so that people watching us get to know what ANSAA actually represent before we now begin to go to the nitty-gritty of what we have this morning.
Okay. ANSAA, the acronym ANSAA is for Anambra State Signage and Advertisement Agency. There is an agency that caters for two key areas of our visual life. One is the advertisements, and then the other is signages. The advertisements are actually the paid. There is a medium that you have to pay for, but the signages are the ones you build yourself. That's why we call them first-party assets.
Okay, talking about advertising, businesses most times thrive on the the backdrop of adverts, and then some go as far as inventing or using different means to create awareness for their businesses. Now, when you say you're doing both signage and then the advert itself, what will it take for somebody to, let's say I want to get a business established. Do I come to you? Do you give me the idea of what my business is going to be? Do you create the signage for me? Or do I just give you the name and then you do all of that?
No. That's the job of an advertising agency.
Not your agency?
No, my agency's role is to regulate and control signages in the state, or rather signage in the state, and then regulate and control advertising, that's outdoor advertising structures. We call them out-of-home advertising structures. I use the word structures.
Example?
Yeah. That is structures that are where those advertisements are placed, not the content of the advertisement. The content of the advertisement is controlled by ARCON, but the structure, where like a billboard is a unipole, whatever the structures, or you put it on the body of a vehicle, we'll be interested in that. Then you are on the street and trying to convince people to come out. We are in control of that.
Street promotion of items.
Yes, we call them activation.
Anambra is a very busy area because it's commercially oriented, and then a whole lot of things are going on in Anambra at the same time. Let us first of all look at your areas of coverage. What is under this agency? That's what are you in control of when it comes to signages and advertisements in Anambra, ranging from all the commercial cities that we have in Anambra State?
Yes. Okay. Fundamentally, like I said, the agency's job are in two: advertisements, and advertisements are third-party assets. What are third-party assets is that, like, we don't build those structures, and the customer does not build the structures. These structures are built by ARCON licensed advertising practitioners who are either members of O1 as outdoor advertising associations.
When you say structures, what do you mean by structures?
Structures are the this is the structure, and an advertisement is placed on it.
The advertisement rows.
All those, those
Billboards.
billboards.
The
boards you see there.
Okay, the
they are the
structures.
structures. Yeah, that's what we control.
Oh, okay.
Because we have to place them in places where they don't create obstruction for traffic. They don't create obstruction for the town planning. They don't, create problems for even motor drivers.
So that they don't block.
So they don't block other people, and then amongst themselves, so that one board does not conflict with another board, so that the messages could easily be seen and be,
Okay, you said that is the archons that control the structure. So who are the archons?
I didn't say Archon controls the structure. I said that
So they
Archon.
build.
I said that Archon licensed practitioners build those structures.
Okay.
You understand? They
And
own
then
them.
you
And if you look
control.
at them, you see numbers. You see the right names and numbers on those structures. Those are the owners of these structures. Then the businesses place
That are big,
adverts on them. So the businesses that place adverts on them, what they are putting there is not our business. However, because before you become the managing director of Anambra State Signages, you must at least be a member. You must have a certified certification. So one of the commitments you have as a certified member of the Archon is that you will not allow a content that is not proper to be placed there. So me, because I am that certified, I wouldn't allow a content that is improper to be placed there, even though it is not the role of ANSAA so to do, but it is my role as a certified member not to allow it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in that case, I will withdraw and act as a member of Archon, not as a managing director of ANSAA.
Okay. Okay. We're still looking at the
That's one. Then the second one is the signage. The signage is like if you want to set up a business now and you want to let people know
where your
location is. You come to our office. We give you a form. You fill the form. After filling the form, you will write an application, and then you pay a very little fee for people to go inspect. Our regulations department to go there, look at where you want to place the sign, and tell you if it's proper to place the sign there or not. So after that, the regulations department will advise me, be the managing director, to approve or not to approve. So if they recommend it for approval, I'll pen my signature and approve. Then you can now build your structure, your signage, and place it there. Your signage is registered with the state, it's structured with the state. So anytime if there's any issue there, and some other person wants to place a signage that is going to block your own, the regulations people will go back there and check and say, no, this signage cannot be here, because if it's there, it's going to create a problem for the other person. So that's it.
What of the ones that is pasted on the wall? Are you also in control of that one?
Yes.
Like I have a shop and
Yes.
I want to write the name
That's
of
signage.
and what I do.
That is signage.
It's signage.
Yeah.
So it's still under your
Yeah,
control.
it's still under our control, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, you talked about coverage. That means you are in charge of the signage in
The
21
vehicles, yeah, in the
local government area of Anambra State.
We cover end to end.
End to end.
Of Anambra State. But sometimes we even permits, because some permits are actually are they go beyond they're transborder permits. Like the permits we give you for your vehicles. If you give you a permit for your vehicle, it's going to cover the whole of Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, talking about ANSAA, then obviously you guys are an IGR outlet.
Yes, that's exactly what we are. We actually traders. We are selling what we call Anyora.
Okay, Anyora.
What is Anyora?
Anyora. That's opportunity to see. Because if you're not, that's actually what we are selling.
Okay, that's the name of your business.
No. Yeah, that's the name of the business. And we sell them in
As a
bits. We
trader.
actually sell them in bits. We sell them in, at 750 naira per square foot. So that's actually how we sell it.
Now, being a revenue generation outfit, bringing in revenue, we can see all what the governor is doing And so with ANSAA and other agencies bringing in, throwing in their weight, making their contribution. What would you say, because most times I know Nigerians and I know the nature of Ndi Igbo. Paying taxes, paying levies are always a very, very taxing thing for people to do. And I've heard cases where people will tell you, will call and say, please, my shop is being sealed, my shop is being locked. What measures are you implementing? One, to make sure that the revenue that goes to the government doesn't go into private pockets, you understand? And then secondly, to not create that bad blood between the masses, the Ayora, that you're serving. In a nutshell, let's globalize this thing, because that's how we are.
Yeah, sure. When I came in, we realized that people were seeing signage as a tax, as part of the tax.
Yeah.
And we explained to them that it's not tax. It's a non-mandatory government good that you are consuming. And the name of that good you are consuming is Anyora. How did Anyora come about? When you cast your vote for the current governor to be the governor of Anambra State, you gave him the right, through ANSAA, to monetize the fact that you are walking around the whole of Anambra State, that you are seeing things, you are seeing things. So it is those money, is your own money that we are collecting, is the money we are collecting on behalf of Ndi Anambra. Is the money that we are collecting on behalf of Ndi Anambra. So when we collect this money on behalf of Ndi Anambra, it goes straight to the IGR account. And from the IGR account, you start seeing governor is building roads, governor is doing this, governor is doing that. So when people pay, so we have to now come down to the language our people understand and explain it to them that this is it's actually your money we are collecting for you. That is the money of the person who does not own that thing at that moment. The same person who owns it, if he's walking on the road and is seeing some other people's zone and those people are paying, we are also collecting the same money for the person, and that money we are collecting is what we call Anyora. Talking about how do we ensure that the monies that people pay don't enter private hands. What we do is that we always, right now, you can't come to ANSAA and somebody will tell you to come and pay cash.
Or pay into my account.
Or pay into my account. If somebody tells you pay into my account, tell the person, just come report the person to my office. The person will be dealt with.
Collect evidence of the account.
Yes, just come to my office, because what you are not supposed to pay to any ANSAA official's account. You are to pay into the IGR account I repeat, for the signage. But there are certain fees that you may have to pay directly into ANSAA account. Things like when they are carrying out inspection fee is not an IGR fee. It is a fee. You are requesting, come help me check this. So when they go there, you pay that directly into ANSAA account directly. And that's why the fees are usually very small. But the one that goes to the IGR, well, by the time they've done the inspection and they've seen it, they calculate it at this cost, 750 naira per square foot. So let's have an example that you have a signage of 2 feet by 10 feet. You calculate it 2 times 10, it gives you 20. And 2 times 10 by 750, 20 by 750 will give you 15,000 naira. So if you have a signage that is 4 by 5, it gives you 20. So it's 15,000 naira you're supposed to pay. And if somebody comes to you and tells you that your money is not 15,000, there's not 15,000 naira, it's 30,000 naira, how did you come about it? The person must show you, if he gives you your demand notice, you see on it where they will write the size of your
billboard.
The size of your signage.
Signage, okay.
So that size of your signage, if you contest it, you go and measure it yourself and give him the correct one. Based on that, your money will be paid. But if there's any problem, you report the person to us. That's all.
Okay, let's look at it this way. You have these fixed prices for the signages.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have different prices for different advertising? Like I have a shop. I am advertising what I'm selling here. Then I have a burial to do. I want this board here and this. Do you have different prices for different?
Yes.
Okay.
We
Can you give us ideas?
Sure. We have
okay.
we have prices for different, for whatever products that we are. There are prices, there's a price schedule that is, let me say, sectoral. The ones that are sectoral are for practitioners only. And the practitioners are the ones that source and get the prices for that. That's like the owners of the structures. They have prices, they have what they pay per annum for their structures. So, but if you want to put up a billboard, they are the ones to tell you what to pay. We are not the ones to tell you what to pay because we don't own the billboards. They pay us for
okay, you pay them and they pay them and they still pay you.
You pay them. You pay them. They pay us for, because they're occupying a space in Anambra for the structures. So they pay us for the structures.
Do I still pay to you again?
No.
After paying to them?
Remember, it's a third party. There's a third party. The person that is handling it is the person you pay to. That person pays us. So that's why I said it's a sectoral charge. You know, so it's not for public consumption because the public don't have any business. they are the public of that particular business. So, but if it is for signage or vehicle branding or house branding or for things like, let's say, burials and posters and things like that.
Church billboards.
Those ones are different. For churches are very peculiar. They are peculiar, and because Anambra is a Christian state, we've given them a whole lot of privileges. You know.
Considerations.
Yes, those considerations were made for them. Sometimes when you give people privilege, they even demand much more than you are giving them. So for the law says that the church must have a sign in premises. In premises means that your signage must be within the walls of your property.
Of your premises.
Yeah.
Okay, not this one they put at the gate.
No, if he crosses
not the one at the junction.
If he crosses the gate, you are supposed to pay. And even the one that's in premises is 2 feet by 2 feet that the law allows. But you see, we said that because we are a Christian state, when we came, we met with the governor. We explained to the governor that look. The governor said, okay, that our proposal is very, very good. What is our proposal? Our proposal is that if any church wants to put up a signage, no matter how big that signage is, let it be in premises. If you want to put a very big board inside your premises,
no problem.
We will not touch it. The very moment you are now trying to do trying to be smart, to allow an inch to cross your gate.
The fence.
As soon as it crosses your gate, an inch crosses your gate, ANSAA will give you bill for the whole board, including the one that is inside.
Oh, really?
So yes. So if you're a church and you don't want us to come to, just make sure you have your signage inside your premises. And sometimes we're emotional about where we worship. So some of us in the office, what we decided was like to prove to the people where we worship that we are doing our work. We went to the place to worship and told them, look, we give them the work before we started. We give them demand notice, all of them, and then but we opted on our own to go pay for the church so that the church will know that they are supposed to pay for this. Let's assume now that I am a member of St. Andrew's Anglican Church or whatever. Then notice will be given to them, but maybe I'll now call the priest. Say, please, don't worry, I'll pay this myself, and I'll pay and give you the receipt, and then you use it too. So that way, the priest knows that you are supposed to pay.
What's the payment like? Is it annually or
it's
just
annually?
Annually.
It's
really?
An annual payment.
So if I mount a big board in the church that just, crosses the gate a little, I pay.
You pay
annually.
Unless, but if you're smart, you just push it in and you don't pay anything again.
You just push
it in. So when you push it in, you don't pay. Okay, there was an example of a pastor that came and he explained. I told him, Pastor, look, that whatever it is that I understand with you, but this is the law. Just push it in. He said, okay, but I said, pay this year, go back, push it in. If you push it in, next year, you're not going to, if anybody sends you demand notice, bring it to me. He went home happy. The important thing there is that it's easy for them, but let me explain to you, some of us want to consume more than we want. You could see a church that probably does not have up to 20 members, and they now want to put a signage that will cost them much more than they can afford to pay. You know,
the amount they generate in the church.
And somebody will now say that the government is doing this bit. No.
Because
we
it's
give
not
you a
their
privilege
church.
because it's not their church. Because it's the Catholic church, that the Catholic and Anglican churches are wearing. So then, no, that is not true. That all the Anglicans and Catholics in our office, we told them, look, go to your churches.
Your parish,
if you love the church too much, go and pay for them. That's the rule, you know. So we don't have any problem with that. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
We're going to take a break here. We're going to take a break to bring in some people that we'll talk to concerning what we're discussing now. When we come back, we'll go to nitty-gritty of why we invited you here, because everybody knows that election is about to come in November, and then billboards of campaign billboards of different political parties are being cited everywhere. CEO is laughing. Okay, but don't worry. Let's take this break, and when we come back, we're going to hit the hammer on the nail.
Yes, I think signages, posters also must be well managed, because if not, you are sure to have the environment defaced, and it will not be a good thing to look at for everybody. So I think it's good that we have an agency that is in charge of ensuring that people do the right thing when it comes to signages and posters. But I think there could be, government may just have to look at the way that agency goes about its work. Sometimes they become unnecessarily unfriendly.
So I feel that they should make use of an idea of tracking them with their phone numbers. Where they feel that the posters are not okay, they should make use of their phone numbers, track them, then give them warning. Once they don't want to adhere to it, they can make use of court this thing. Thank you.
Personally, for me, I think signboard, like, it makes the area kind of untidy, like unkept, looking like anyhow. So personally, for me, I would prefer billboards. Like, it's kind of a modern way of passing messages and your adverts.
I think it's a good thing to have the environment to really regulate the way posters and signages are being erected and put in place. It's a good thing. But government should go about implementing whatever law that they are implementing in that regard with human face.
From our street parliamentarians on the need for government to actually, create an advert agency for signage and the rest of it, so that our cities will look very, very, beautiful. There are places where you go to and you see post no bill. I don't know if it's the ANSAA people that will tell us why such things are there. If every place is Anambra and you can advertise, probably for you to have access to post no bill, maybe you pay to them. But before we come to that question, political season, 2025 election, it's happening in Anambra. Yes. And we might be having a continuation or somebody taking the baton. Anambra is our place. Social media reports have been more like going abuzz with the fact that APGA, you understand, is being sentimental to just favoring their parties, you understand, aspirants, and by placing their posters in strategic places as against other parties. Bearing in mind that 50 million was what you charged for political parties to, do adverts, have billboards, and then run campaign. Can you tell us the breakdown of that? Because I don't understand. If I want to put... Yeah.
First and foremost, that there are some political parties that are smart.
You may need to speak up. Let's hear you.
There are some political parties
This page is very important to
There
us.
are some political parties that are smart. Before this time, they had already gone to pay for some sites. Some paid 6 months, some paid one year ago for these sites. You know. And when politics came, some of them are exposing on the places that they had already paid for. With that, my hands are tied. If ABGA probably did the same thing and paid for maybe strategic places earlier on the time, you know, would you say that it is favoring itself? I'm talking about political parties that are not ABGA.
Yeah.
You were there when YPP put up a board, Joy is coming. And when they put up the board, it happened to have appeared coincidentally. At the time, the EIA report was, we were carrying out a review on the EIA report on the particular site where that message was placed, you know, at UNIZIC. And we invited the owner of the site. We had already wrote him a year earlier. He didn't act on it. We told him, please, we gave directed any use of this should be for short term, you know, until the man comes to fix the thing. The very weekend, the EIA was to go and our EIA consultants were to go work on that area. Was the very weekend they put up the adverts. And then I have to do my work without fear or favor. So the materials were brought down. When materials were brought down, the EIA went to do their work. And the political party, instead of them coming to us, some of them went to town that they paid 50 million and the board was removed. That was wickedness, that it was the governor, it was this, was that, was that. I didn't say anything. I didn't even go defend our position because I know I was doing what was right. But let me give respect to whom respect is due. The deputy gubernatorial candidate came to our office, and when we explained what happened to him, he said, this is pure due process. And he said, my friend, go and fix your material. If something falls from here and kills somebody here today, they will say it is a YPP that killed the person with their board. That go and fix it. And by the time they fixed it, we left their board. They don't remove it, you know. But the point there is that it's so easy for people to take news to town and say whatever they like.
Because they don't have information. Okay, that's just it. And that's what we want. That's why we invited you here, to ensure that we'll have this information at hand. Now, you talked about people coming earlier to pay for their billboards. Okay, that's okay.
They came in
no,
earlier
I
to pay for their billboards.
You said that some people, some political parties, paid for billboards earlier, before the campaign season.
To us, to the owners of the boards.
To owners of the board. It's okay. It's okay. But then I want to ask you now, is there a kind of review on the prices of the billboards during election? Or do we have a very recent review on the prices?
The prices for billboards are determined to political candidates are determined by the owners of the billboards. For me, you know, you use billboard loosely. I use it technically. If you meant what we are charging, the 50 million we are charging, what it is for. The 50 million we are charging is access.
No, we're still going to we're still coming to that. We just want to establish.
No, but for the billboards, not to explain to you that the billboards are not determined. The cost of the billboards are not determined by us. It's determined by the owners of these billboards.
Okay.
And political season is a
business. Is it the owners of this billboard that 50 million naira were paid to?
Oh. That's what I wanted to, because I know you got it confused. I wanted to explain. You said it wasn't the 50 million naira. Now you're bringing it back again.
I want us to understand
50 million naira, like I said, if it's very clear, it is access. It gives you access, you know, to Anambra. That means you put up your billboard campaign starts coming up, and then you start going to have your campaign. You start wearing your cap. You start wearing things to go rallies. You start painting your vehicles. You start putting all this. After you have paid the 50 million naira. 50 million naira is for the Anambra. That's the only money the politician spends in his campaign that is going into the IGR account. If he's having...
In other words, it's a campaign fee.
That's exactly what it is.
Because people think it's billboard fee.
No,
That's why we brought you here to explain.
No, it's not a billboard
why
fee.
one single billboard should cost 50 million naira.
It gives you access to the annual, which is what the money is for. It's for you, you, and me. Because the money goes straight into the IGR account. And the government accesses it to build roads, do other things. That's the only thing they are doing for us. So it's our money.
Okay. Does it cover every political party that has any gubernatorial aspirants?
Yes, every political party.
So everybody has paid, including?
No. The political parties that are paid right now are YPP, ADC, AA, Labour Party, and ABGA. ABGA paid yesterday. It was all in the news. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. If I had known, I would have asked you to come with their receipts here so that we'll see it.
Well, the media, Mark will provide you with whatever you need.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, let's look at this. What internal checks are in place to ensure that ANSAA remains politically neutral and does not give unfair advantage to any political party when it comes to this?
First and foremost is that we are a regulatory body and we control structures, you know. That's why I'm trying to say that we are fair to the owners of the boards. The owners of the boards are the ones that determine the ground. Because what are we going to do? Are we going to say that, okay, I want going to say that there won't be any political parties campaigning in Anambra if that political party has been able to pay the campaign fee and has been able to acquire a site for their billboard and paid for the, I will not say go because you are not ABGA, go and remove your border. I won't do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's, the law makes it very simple that all we do is to regulate and control, you know. But as a government agency, of course, we consult for the state government on issues of signage and on issues of on billboards. Having access to billboards, that's true.
All right, talking about regulation now, how do you regulate this? Is it when I pay you 50 million naira, I do anything I like? Litter the whole streets of Anambra State with posters, billboards here and there. How do you regulate?
Thank you for that question, my sister. Okay. You see, when you are given the ANSAA permit, when you're given the ANSAA campaign permit, you are also given, you know, a guideline on how to place and where to place your posters. Because posters are the ones we are in control of. We are not in control of billboards. Like I said, billboards are the owners of the billboard. But if the owners, if you go and build a billboard,
but just this,
if you're a politician, you now go and place a billboard, build it yourself and place it yourself, we'll go and take away the billboard. Even if you are ABGA.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because there are steps. There are regulatory steps that you take before you build a billboard. That's why we only registered practitioners can put up boards, because they understand the language that we speak. When we are making corrections, they will understand them. But the individual will not understand when you are telling him that, look, this is not within, this is not within, you know, within the view. This is when you start using technical terms, the individual may not understand, but the ACON registered person will understand what you're talking about, and we keep training them, as you know, from time to time, and it makes it easier for us, you know.
They never posters about their boys, so they're not ACON.
No, that's why we are. That's why we give them. That's why when you come, when the person that represented the governor came to our office yesterday, when we gave him the permit, we also gave him the guidelines where to place posters and where not to place posters. Yes, one of them is that like, you don't place posters in any public building like bridges, pedestrian crossings, you know, public schools, hospitals, public like this ABS wall outside now. You can't go and put poster on them, you know. Then you don't put posters on other people's posters. You don't put posters on electric poles. Do you understand? You don't put posters on electric poles. You don't put posters on a whole lot of, those are the kind of places, so you know where to put your posters.
So where do you put it now?
Thank you very much.
Excluding all these places.
Thank you very much. There are walls that are owned by individuals. What government owns, the walls that belong to government are fewer than the walls that belong to individuals. Because if you put them in the government, on any of the government property, we'll remove them. So that when we remove them,
you only remove, but you won't sanction.
We'll remove them. Because if we remove them now, the next thing will be that it's because it's a political party. So ABGA collected it. Every party collected it. So if ABGA puts it in the wrong place, we'll still remove it because we have a team that will be going around and monitoring, and they're removing it.
How do you know who places?
No. We have a team. We have a monitoring team that goes around to. I'm sure it's some of ABGA. They write monitoring in them, so they will keep going.
So now, can you come and place on individuals' walls without the permission of the person that owns the place?
Sometimes they might have sympathy for the party. They may be the ones that will even put the posters on themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, that's good. So
and then you don't use your poster to cover someone else's material. Like it's very common.
When you do,
that's when we sanction you. And how do we sanction you? First of all, we take a picture of it, because the beauty of posters. I love posters because posters will tell you who owns it. I am the one that. So because we have your data already, we'll write you and invite you. Do you understand? Probably sometimes we give warnings, sometimes we don't give warnings, or if we take it, we'll just give you a demand notice to go remove it. If you don't remove it, the next thing is that probably we'll send you a court summons.
The bill, the cost effect.
Talking about your monitoring team, is there sensitization apart from the rules, the guidelines that you give to political parties, having paid this 50 million? Do you have staff of your organization that go about telling people where and where not to? Because these are the big shots in the political parties that they want to pay the 50 million. But it's their foot soldiers that go about pasting all these posters.
Their foot soldiers get paid. As long as you get paid, the payment goes with instruction. That is why when we permitted you with a guideline. So they will cascade it down to their foot soldiers. It's not our job to move to their foot soldiers. But you are correct. Very soon we'll begin the campaign of telling people where to post and where not to post. That's proper, However, it behooves on them, because it is given. It's not as though we wrote it and pasted it on the wall. We gave it to each political party as they are going. This is yours. Guys. So you read through it, and then you know what. And none of them had any issues with it, as of today. No.
Now, we're still talking about the revenue generation of ANSAA, you understand? If you see what happens in other states, the organization of the billboards, and then the revenue they bring in, can ANSAA be said to rival other states in revenue generation or other agencies in IGR?
Right now, let me tell you, at least, from when Soludo came in, ANSAA had been good. ANSAA for the first and second year was more or less internal re-engineering, rebranding. We had a lot of technical work to do to build this, and now we are beginning to focus much more on the revenue drive. But that does not mean that within those periods we said, okay, because we are doing this. No. From the first year we came in, we doubled the IGR. By the second year, we quadrupled the IGR, and by this year, based on this election year. No, not election. By the time before election, I'll give you one asset as an example. The asset is vehicle branding. You know what vehicle branding? Vehicle branding. When we came in, it was giving us a zero revenue, because they were giving out to people who were doing them, and then they will come back and then tell us that there's no money. Then by the first year, it gave us like 15. We moved from 0 to 15 million. By 15 million, by last year, it hit about 35 million. But by this year, half year, they're over 50 million. The year is not ended, they're over 50 million. So that goes to show you that we're having you know,
progressive
growth, you know, and that's just one asset, not to talk of other assets that we handle, you know. So that you know, we are working based on the plan. There's actually an answer document, you know, which I designed when I came in. And that's what we're implementing. As soon as we're implementing them one after the other, you know, keeps going. And but if you add what has happened with the political this thing, of course, you know that it will be much more than far more than projection.
These River State musicians that will always play as you depend them, as you sweet us, you depend them. I hope this progress is not another person's pains. I hope it's not much burden on the people that you are taking this money from, because you know the situation of this in the country.
Let me explain how it's not. How it's not that the first thing we did was to research and find out how do people pay for their signage. We realized that sometimes that the old order was like, you go to a place, you just look at the signage and then you look at the owner of the signage and look at the kind of business, they give the person a bill. We said no. We said this can't work, that this is not proper. So what we did was the law allowed us to do 2,000 naira per square foot. But the governor said, because of the way the way the economy is, let people, that's how they brought it down to 750 naira per square foot. So because it's 750 naira per square foot, you find out that if you are doing POS, you know, if you are doing POS, 750 naira times 2, every POS, no POS is more than 2, the worst it could be would be 4 feet. So 4 feet times 750 gives you how much?
When you say POS, plaster of Paris?
That's one. No, I'm talking about people who
do POS.
Money
Okay,
POS.
so that's
no, not POP. That one is POP.
Okay.
So you come at the point of sale financial services.
Yes, point of sale.
So you find out that it comes to about 3,000 or less than that. You know, but before they were collecting like 5,000, 6,000 from them, you know, because they were POS people. So you realize that these are things that and everybody goes happy, everybody comes to the office, is happy that at least I know what I'm paying for. And there's a particular man I remember, you know, the man came to the office and after everything, we explained everything to him. The man was going home, he dashed me 4,000 naira and told me,
oh, sure.
He told me, thank you for this. You know? So it's really in their interest.
Okay.
So now on the other area, I want to talk about the innovation of technology in actually making your job a lot easier, because that's what seems to be obtainable in different clients, and we don't want to be left behind. This is the light of the nation, so we want to even be the pace setter in innovation. Anambra State might not be the first state that began this advert and signage thing, but we want to do better. So what innovative measures are you bringing in to make sure that we don't have loopholes in bringing this?
Number one is that we have, for us to be where we are, when we told you that we scaled from 0 to 50-something million, it's technology. There's no way you can physically drive a business like that. Money. One of the things we are using manual printers, you know, contractor printers to do things for us, and sometimes they'll print for you. You don't know whether they'll print for other people. So what we did was we invested some of our money to getting the equipment, and then plugged it to worldwideweb.digitalannuara.com, which is actually our platform, our tech platform, you know, where that helps our business. And so now you may, as I'm talking to you, permits are printed and delivered to people.
Wow.
When
bearing their business name.
Yes, bearing their business name is printed in the office, and that's why our permit. Okay, let me give you an example. There's a popular transport company in Anambra State now. He has done over 550 vehicles, of all his vehicles in Nigeria, in Anambra, because when you hold the Anambra State branded permit, you know, it covers everywhere, and everybody respects it because it comes out clean, comes out top notch, and it's not
photographic.
It has a QR code and everything. So there was even a case of somebody who collected it and went and forged it. When he forged it, he was selling them for 3,000 naira. And we will say no problem.
Instead of how much?
No, it's just 10,000 naira for you to get it.
Okay.
So then somebody now saw it. The owner of the asset on monitoring saw it, brought it to the office. We checked it with the QR code. It was fake. Then what do? Because there will always be a number in it. So the number, not phone number, but there's a number in it, there's a code in it. With that code, we went to the files, got the form, found out who collected this particular form, got the person on, because you must have his phone number there. That's what tech does for you. With the phone number, we got the person, invited the person to the office. By the time we invited the person to the office, and everybody started begging. Do you understand? That's what tech does for us. So we are dependent on tech to have achieved what we have achieved.
Very important. Yes, we know that one of the problems we face when it comes to IGR in Anambra State is the contractor issues. I want to find out, do you use contractors? And if you do, what are the challenges generally that you face in that agency as the MD CEO?
When we came, there were contractors, revenue contractors, but we phased them out completely.
Really?
No, we don't use them anymore. What we do now is that we have the nearest contractors we have are what we call the ANSAA. They are trained staff. They are ANSAA, our ANSAA liaison officers. We have 250 liaison officers in all the 229, the 179 communities to monitor issues of burial, burial posters, Ibanku posters, we call it ceremonial posters. So they manage those aspects for us for commission. So because they are kind of a pseudo staff of ours, it's fully under control. We don't have challenges with them. So that's what is near. That's something that is closest to maybe, but they are not. But because they are carrying our ID cards. We don't have third-party people because our job is too technical for third parties to do. In fact, we tried something with Asmata, and we realized that when we found out that it's not working because they were treating it as if it was a contractor business, and then we had to cancel our contract with them. I think about a fortnight ago. So we're not working with them anymore. So
all right, let's look at the challenges you're facing there as the MD CEO. Yeah, I mean the challenges you're facing in ANSAA, working for Anambra State, and then dealing with Anambra people, because I know how. I know how we are when it comes to this kind of thing.
I am that kind of person that I love problems. I love problems. Why I love problems is that it gives me the opportunity to think, because if you can't convert problems or challenges into opportunities, then why are you the CEO? If you are a CEO and you wake up in the morning and you go to your office, you are praying, let there be no problem today. Now you sabi. For me, I want the problems to come so that I'll be able to think out solutions to them. So sometimes it looks as if we ask him. What we do is that all the challenges we tell our zonal heads, our asset managers to document their problems and challenges by August. Between August and the 30th of September, we'll do what we call strategy sessions for 2026. All the challenges we've had in each of those assets, we'll meet, we'll brainstorm on them, find out how to improve them. How are we going to get better in 2026? What's the version, what's the 2026 model of the vehicle we are selling to the public? It's not about all this. So if there are no problems, how are we going to bring something new in 2026? So we see challenges are beautiful. They are beautiful for us. They're not. That's why people tell me they have challenges. Well, you're enjoying
Anambra Corporation. Yeah. You are enjoying. You have money. You don't have financial constraints. Of course, you generate money.
Okay. When it comes to financial constraints, they always be there. They will always be there. But the fact is that you can't have perfect 100% staff. You have people who fall out of the way, but we have means of making them pay for falling out of the way. We may not sack you, but we may make life very uncomfortable for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then you probably will start changing your character in order to fit into the mode of those that want to move on, because the vehicle is very fast. If you want to be at the back, you be at the back. So that's it.
Now, talking about innovation and then talking about the good of, orderliness that ANSAA brings, in some other climes, your job doesn't just go about signage control and the rest of it, advert. I've seen where even streets rebranding, houses rebranding, have some uniformity.
Yeah.
Is that going to be something your agency will adopt in the nearest future, so that when you come into Anambra, you probably will see something yellow and black like you have done here, as in naming our street and then housing and stuff like that? Do you have anything of such nature?
It's either you are clairvoyant or it's either you're clairvoyant or that you have no. I mean the question you're asking me now, or that you have a very good source, of information for this question.
Because I know.
You know what I'm saying.
I know he does.
Because yesterday, I came off a meeting, on an ESCO committee, which I did a presentation to the committee, and then everybody was very excited in the things that we presented along that line, and because it's something that is in the works, it would be proper for me to speak on it. But the only thing I can say is that smile, because the future is bright. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, before we'll start on them, let's also look at what is very common to us. Election is just once in a while it comes up. But burial, funerals, what do you call it? And a whole lot of them that comes every weekend. So how do you handle that one? Are there kind of exemptions for indigent families and communities when it comes to burials?
Okay, just like I said about churches, if you are a family and you're having a burial and you are flaunting the Anambra law, burial law, which says that you should not put up all those things. Our job is not the burial law. That's why we don't enforce it. It's not ANSAA's job. ANSAA's job is to enforce posters, control, regulate posters and out-of-home material. So as long as you have put up posters, materials for your burial, Ibanku, Ofala, any ceremony, we call them ceremonial posters and banners, we will write to you. But for families, we tell them, please, if you don't have money to pay, if you put, no matter how big the size of banner you put inside your family compound, we're not going to charge for that. But the very moment you start putting posters outside,
those are
that is what they do for direction.
I'm coming. Calm down.
Okay.
The moment you start putting posters and banners around the whole town, you pay us money. However, do you know what you call directional signs? Those ones that come with arrow. If you put them, even if you design the burial poster and put them on those signs, we won't charge you 1 naira.
Oh, really?
As long as you're directing you to the person's places. But the very moment you go and put poster, put it at Eke, you put it at Unkwo, put it at Oye, and start saying it's directing you to that Biko, we will charge you. But if you put those as directional signs that will show that it's going to that, we don't charge for those. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Are we fair?
No.
Thank you.
No, so this was they just tie rope here, tie rope and tie. You pay?
We tie money here, tie money. I give you. I ask you to pay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, because we have some other programs that is coming up, I would have loved to keep you here longer than now, so that you tell us more. I believe that will be for some other time, because political seasons do come and go, and then ANSAA's job definitely continues year in, year out. And that's how we want to wrap it on this segment. Saying a very big thank you to the MD, CEO of Anambra Advertisement Agency. That's talking about ANSAA, in the person of Mr. Or is it Mr. Ochi?
No, just Tony Odili Ujubo. No
Tony.
titles, please. Tony Odili Ujubo.
Okay, Tony Odili Ujubo. No titles, please. And let me add that. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure having you around here. And then, well, I think I've learned a whole lot today. I think I've learned, and I can do a little bit of subsidiary ANSAA agent in
sensitizing.
As long as it's not a contractor, I will not be.
In sensitizing our Indian Anambra on how to go about advertising their business, and then probably for the burial, the ceremonial banner and posters. Please, an arrow will save you any cost. And that's how we're going to be wrapping it up here. I'm still Ajulichukwu Okabwe.
And my name is Tijama. Thank you very much for coming, Tony.
Thank you, Anambra.